Hello and welcome to Fintech Today. I'm Matt Hyde, founder of Fintech Awards London. We are day 2 of judging. It's been incredibly busy already, and it's wonderful to be joined by one of our sponsors and one of our judges this afternoon. Maybe you could introduce yourself.
Thank you, Matt. My name's Craig Rogers. I am a partner at Eversheds Sutherland, based in London. I'm also the global co-lead for our technology and financial services and Fintech practice. And great to be here with you today.
Well, great to have you with us. Sponsors of a difficult category. They're all difficult, but Fintech Leader of the Year. How was that, Craig?
Yeah, it's a great experience, I think. And what I love about the process is obviously all the 7 contenders make a detailed submission. We then get them in. And then we obviously have to follow a clear and fair and uniform process to a degree, but given the opportunity to explain about the business, about what they've achieved in the last 12 months, about how they've played a critical role in the growth development of the business, their vision for the future, how they manage their internal structures, how they manage their external stakeholders, their customers, policymakers to a degree, because a lot of them, or all of them, are subject to regulation to an extent, and they've all got shareholders. So how do you keep your shareholders happy? How do you demonstrate accretive value for the business? And I think more than that, it's around the ability and the charisma of those leaders to ensure that they have all of their stakeholders, particularly their employees, behind them for the journey.
Yeah, and you had it's a really tough number of candidates this year. Doesn't make it easy. Does having them there in person, does that make a real difference, do you think?
I think so. I think it's very important, and I won't go into details on any particular because I don't think that would be fair. But I think that having them there in person, you get a much better feel. And it's a more natural approach, I think, in the interviewing process to understand what they've done as leaders of their businesses. And they're very different, very diverse group of businesses. Again, I won't go into the detail, and I'm sure this will come through in time, but to really enable us as a panel of judges, and again, a very diverse panel, and I'm sure you can refer to them individually, but for us to give us the opportunity really to test them and to give them the chance to explain what, as I say, they've done over the last 12 months and indeed prior to that. So how they've arrived at a journey, and often it's a long journey from founding a business, going through initial bootstrapping a business, Series A funding, and then through the growth and partnerships as well as they've developed the business going forward. And obviously the market has shifted and evolved a lot. I was going to say in the last 12 months, but even the last few weeks. So obviously how they respond to change and innovation in the marketplace.
Yeah, an exciting category, and I think everyone enjoys that one. So we're talking about Eversheds. You're very much involved in technology, the fintech side of things. How is Eversheds really, I suppose, making themselves work within that fintech community and sector?
So I've been with Eversheds for 10 years. Seen a huge amount of change and evolution, and bearing in mind that I came into the firm at a time where cloud was just becoming more significant. We were working through fundamental changes with the regulators, both here and internationally, to try and work through some of the challenges around a shift from an on-prem to a cloud business. Obviously, that then evolved through 2016, 2017, 2018. Obviously, prior to that, we had the global financial crisis and an increasing new set of regulations, so resolution recovery requirements, a lot of hardcore principles, a lot of changes in the market. What I think we saw then after a while is obviously we saw this shift to cloud native businesses. Most of the contenders for most of the categories will be built now in cloud environments, enables them to spin up businesses much more quickly, to spin up applications, to roll things out in a matter of days or weeks rather than years and months and years. So we've seen a huge amount of change. We've seen a lot of regulatory change. We've seen a lot of digitalization, but also internationalization of businesses as well. Seen a growth and booms and busts in crypto. So we've seen that. Obviously, and more recently, AI. So how businesses build in AI solutions that are not just ticking a box, but saying we are developing real life-changing AI solutions that make a real impact to our clients and customers going forward, but within the boundaries of regulation. This is where we come back into it, is obviously you've got a load of regulation there, and to understand how you define your risk appetite, how you can innovate and evolve a business within the confines of these new regulations. We've seen that particularly with DORA, EU AI Act, so how we ensure our clients internationally manage this common set of standards, but enables them to grow, evolve and adapt their business without being hamstrung by regulation.
So some really good points then. It's great to see what Eversheds are really doing to help the community and the sector, which is so vital in that regulatory area. I suppose one question that came out quite a lot at IFGS last week: London, the fintech capital of the world?
I think so. I think it's fair to say that we were all very nervous. And I've got a very large European client base, and we were very nervous going through the Brexit process as to whether London would lose its luster, I think, a little bit. I'm pleased to say that right now where we're sitting, and certainly looking forward, we sit very nicely in a position sort of halfway between the US and Europe and the rest of the world. Great time zone. We've got a reliable legal system. We've got a good, I think, balancing set of regulation. I think that there's a recognition that there's a stability there as well. And I think there's a huge amount of innovation and great businesses growing out of London. And indeed, increasingly, I'm seeing this with my client base, coming in and wanting to establish in London to manage international operations from here. So I think there's this ongoing process of engaging with policymakers, engaging with governments, ensuring that we stay abreast. And I always think about this as sort of being a two-speed process. So we've got European regulation. We're going to make sure that we don't, deviate too much from that. Obviously, the ongoing debate and discussion through various fora with the US to ensure we remain aligned with them. Big announcement just yesterday with India as well. So ensuring we've got that association with our international trade partners as well. We see quite a lot with Canada, Australia. I do a lot with Hong Kong and Singapore. So I think London is uniquely placed and still uniquely placed to remain the fintech capital of the world, and hopefully for years to come.
And I would definitely agree with you, so thanks for that. So look, really appreciate your involvement as a sponsor, obviously with what Eversheds are doing within the sector, and we look forward to seeing you on June the 18th when we find out who is the fintech leader of the year 2025.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Matt.
Cheers.